almost falls down. Throws to the end zone. Owen! Owen! Owen!
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in the gun, the throw on his left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown, 49! Vernon Davis with the play of his life. It all comes to this fourth down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up by Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
Coming at you like a clawless cat.
I saw a billboard the other day that said if you support declawing cats, and it was a hand with all the fingertips cut off. I was like, wow, it seems extreme. I mean, wouldn't it be more like no fingernails? I don't know. I mean, I'm not. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor or anything. But.
You know So we had cats at my first house.
Oh, I remember that.
First of all, I'm allergic to cats. So my wife,
why did you have cats?
She had them before.
This is one of the things that should come up anytime there's any disagreement with my wife. I should be like, you know, I'm allergic to cats, and you brought cats into our house, right?
You were like already together? They were a new thing?
No, she had cats at her mom's. We moved in together, and she slowly brought them. Like, she slowly found a way to get them there. And me,
I loved them.
Being a good fucking husband, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, being stupid, I let them into my house. And that, again, this is something that should come up anytime there's any disagreement. I should be able to go, cats. And that should be the end of it. That should be it. I lived with cats, 3 cats, and I'm allergic.
You gave them a chance.
So
3. And they were long-haired, 2 of them. Real long. So
I'm very anti-cats for a lot of reasons. A, I'm allergic, number 1. But B, they destroy everything. Their claws destroy everything. They'll fucking destroy your countertops if you let them. Like, they're brutal. They're vicious. And so instead of declawing them, do you know that she would glue on these little covers?
I remember this.
So that they weren't so sharp and they couldn't. The cat
little
couldn't.
Rubber
but it had its claws.
Yeah.
No, they were actually like a hard.
Oh yeah.
Almost like a press-on nail, like a fake nail.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, she would glue them on.
And they worked. I'm assuming.
Yeah, the furniture didn't get wrecked.
They were pink.
Didn't help with your allergies.
No, not at all.
The shrink wrap or like the adhesive things too, where like you put them on the claw and you heat them up.
Yeah, this was like that, but with like a glue or whatever.
Yeah.
They're all dead now, so I don't care.
Yeah, I could tell you a good story about one of those cats before we get started quick. One night I was crashing at Rob's house because I was too drunk to do anything. And Rob, I think it was after a wedding. I think it was after Chris's wedding this time. And Rob offered me blankets and pillows, and being the stubborn asshole that I was like, no, I don't fucking need anything. I'm fine. And I slept on a couch, and like 3 hours later, I woke up fucking freezing. And that cat knew, and he came and he slept on me, and I would not have made it through the night without that cat. Oh, my buddy. He was a little lion.
Picture Joe walking upstairs at 3 in the morning.
No, it was on the
remember
first
those
floor.
Blankets I said I didn't need?
Oh no,
I
he's
need
way
them.
too stubborn for that.
I would leave
We're
before
cut from the same cloth when it comes to that. Not a chance.
Never.
I'll have my shirt wrapped, all my arms inside my shirt. Not a chance am I asking for help.
No, not a dad.
Not after. I gotta stand by what I said.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, to a fault for
I
sure.
would have went. If we probably didn't have plans, we probably had plans the next day, so I had
stay
to be
awake
there.
if I had to.
I had whatever.
Stay awake. I'll go sit in the car with the heat on.
So let's get this party
Trust my
started
mind.
with Anthony Davis, for the 3rd time,
What?
filing his reinstatement papers to unretire and come back. And we cut him immediately the minute the paperwork goes through.
See ya.
Has he been picked up?
No, not to my knowledge. But he's still only 29 years old, and he was a former Pro Bowl right guard who looked good in his attempted comeback last time 3 years ago.
And played in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, quitting on your team twice, that's not a good look.
He's got beef with Jed York, I think.
I Googled it, but only basketball player comes up.
Oh, yeah. Because he's like a phenom. Anthony
me
Davis
put
is just
NFL
like a Pro Bowl right tackle once upon a time. Got anything?
That's still basketball.
Search Anthony Davis NFL.
I did. And
It's still basketball.
Then I went to news, and it goes straight to basketball stuff.
It'll be like Anthony Davis hangs out with the Chargers in L.A.
Right.
So you know what I mean.
So moving on to probably could have talked about this in episode 1, but like I said, I got no order here. So
Steve's wild.
we were getting down to the wire there with
Unhinged.
Bosa and Debo. They signed on the final day
Yeah.
before training camp.
Free agent.
He's a free agent. Anthony Davis still. Yeah, that doesn't shock me at all.
I'm surprised he didn't get picked up
But
for
the
a camp.
audacity
Somebody
to think
will.
the audacity
They
to
would've.
think that somebody's going to take you
Somebody
after
will.
all that. No, I don't even think it's close.
Somebody would sign Alden Smith tomorrow if he fucking came back.
Alden Smith's a little different because
you-
Yep, his talent's much higher, but his insanity's much higher too.
yes. Well,
Somebody would. Somebody will take the fucking Redskins signed fucking what's his name the day after we cut him when he fucked up again.
Well, there's one thing to fuck up outside of work and have it affect work. It's another thing to literally quit on your team twice. Once mid-season. The season just kicked off.
Have you
It was
seen-
week 1.
Have you seen the Alden Smith Nick Bosa meme that's going around comparing something? Hold
No.
on. Okay.
So when you
I
when you
gotta find
search Anthony Davis NFL, and it gives you people also searched for,
Yep.
like people that searched for that also searched for, Mike Iupati,
Okay.
Joe Staley,
Yep.
Chris Borland,
Yep.
Tom Zula,
Yep.
Vernon Davis, and Dante Johnson. How weird is that?
And
then
Johnson.
then Harbaugh.
Yep.
Weird.
when I find it, I'll interrupt.
So yeah, I mean, I was for the longest time I was like, there's no way that the Niners or Nick are gonna let this become a fucking thing, like a holdout, like what Joey went
Yeah.
through with the Chargers, who are cheap as fuck. There have been stories that have come out since then explaining why Joey was holding out, and it makes the owner of the Chargers, I forget his name, look really fucking bad, like really fucking dirt cheap. Basically, the owner, even though it was Joey's money, he didn't want to give it to him right away. He wanted to put it in a pension or a trust fund or something like that because they have different structures. But in order to sign a contract, you have to have all the money on hand. And he had all the money on hand. He just, he didn't want to hold his hand out to Joey. He wanted to give half to Joey and say, oh, I'm putting this other one in the bank account even though it's yours. He was putting a
Weird.
time limit on it.
Very strange.
But anyway, I mean, we can talk shit about how bad the Niners product has been on the field for years, but there is one thing that we have that has consistently been a cut above the rest, and that is our cap management and our way we do business. I would not. We have done everything to a
contracts.
T. If a contract needs to get done, it gets done. We don't let while at the same
Except
time
giving Jet McKinnon all that money.
Well, yeah, that I disagreed with, but when we do business the right way without getting pushed around by players.
But
too.
even that, like, for the time when we made that bad decision, it was the best time to make that bad decision.
yeah, it was pretty.
You know, like it didn't come back to hurt us at all.
Not inconsequential.
We're not right now going, what the fuck?
Yeah, because we got Tevin Coleman. So, yeah, that was good news. First day of camp, that news came out. That was good, and so I think we talked about Bosa a little bit in episode 1, but we didn't talk about the budding friendship between him and Joe Staley that much. I guess they're becoming bros, and
Sick, bro.
this past weekend, I think it was Friday and Saturday practice, all the reporters, except for Grant Cohn, who has to stick up his ass about everything, basically said that Nick Bosa was the best player on the field for the 49ers in first team 11
Wow.
on 11. And completely back-to-back dominant days of practice that he had clutch third down would-be sacks on Jimmy on third downs, and then the next day followed it up with a sack on an open, or a would-be sack on an opening drive because you can't take the quarterback down to the ground. So there's a lot of these in training camp. Obviously, you can't actually tackle the quarterback; it's a would-be sack. But yeah, he is finding his groove. The only thing that will slow him down is injuries, and that has what slowed him down in his final year in college and obviously OTAs this year when he pulled his hammy. So, well, at the same time, his brother Joey pulled his hamstring. He ended up missing 4 weeks of the regular season. Didn't show up till week 5 and still won Defensive Rookie of the Year. How insane is that?
It's pretty wild.
It'd be great to have that, but we'll never get it. They never give it. Just like fucking Navarro was raped of Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Was
Who
that-
would they give it to? The white guy, Kuechly, of course. Oh, this guy's white. He might get it. He's white. This might be our great white hope.
How many sacks does Bosa have this year?
I'm setting the over-under at
76.
8.5.
Wow, that's high.
I was gonna say
most
that
people
was
put the
low.
over under at 10.
At 10, yeah. I don't think he's getting 10. I think I'm going to say 8.5. That's what I'm going with.
I'm going 10.
He's a D end.
Double digits.
10? Joe?
I think we're going to have a couple guys at double digits.
Oh, it is going to be sack season. I'm so pumped for this season.
Well, then I'm going to say 11.
All right.
Price is right.
Chris? Nick Bosa sacks?
12.
Well,
Who's going to lead the league? Who's going to lead the team in sacks?
I think it's D Ford. Ooh, yeah, I think it's D Ford.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be what he was last year.
I don't, but if he's even 90%
Yeah,
of
with
that,
everybody else on that line.
Yeah.
You
With
got to
the-
double everybody else. You
even
can't double
90%
everyone.
of what he was last year, that's massive.
What about Buckner?
Speaking of D Ford and Buckner, D Ford borrowed Buckner's notebook that he takes notes in with team meetings and stuff. And on the top of page 1, it says, "I can't be blocked." Just kind of right there. He can't be blocked.
Did you hear? Oh Jesus! Who was the wide receiver that's Jerry Rice's cousin?
Jordan Matthews.
Did you hear him talking about when he asked Jerry Rice for advice?
Yes.
So Jordan Matthews is Jerry Rice's
Okay.
cousin.
I like that too. That's what I'm going to tell my kid.
Yeah, and so he said he didn't bother Jerry with football stuff because he's Jerry Rice, you know.
Yeah.
But he said right before the draft, he called him and asked him for advice. What is your advice for me going into the draft, going to the NFL, and whatever? And Jerry told him one thing. He said, when you step out on that field, you make sure that you believe you are the best player on that field. Every time, whether you are or not, you walk out there as if you are, and you act as if you are, and you believe that you are. It's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah.
That sounds like a real arrogant Jerry Rice
Yeah.
thing to say.
Speaking of Jordan Matthews, I mean, me and Rob have talked about it. There is an absolutely fantastic radio segment with Jordan Matthews from about a week ago on KMBR. It's about 20 minutes long, but just like it was one of the best player interviews I've ever heard. He goes into detail about the jersey number switch with Trent Taylor, how Trent Taylor didn't even really like his current number at 81, but played it off as if it was his number, so that way Jordan Matthews would pay him more money to get it.
Yeah.
And then Trent Taylor ended up taking that money and buying an engagement ring with it, and he said that Jordan Matthews is probably going to be in the groomsman because he pretty much paid for the ring with paying for the number.
So, well, speaking of him, what do you think about the hype surrounding him that's coming out of camp?
Jordan Matthews?
No.
Trent Taylor? I
Double
believe
T's.
it. For sure. I think he's the perfect. I mean, Jesus Christ. His dad is pretty much his wide receiver coach right now, Wes Welker. Like, they're twins. They're both fucking white slot receivers. Like, you can't get more prototype than that. And at the end of 2017 with Jimmy, he pretty much, I have it right here.
I have it right here, he says, Bob.
I do. In 2017, Jimmy G and Trent went a perfect 16 of 16 on slant patterns.
Wow, that's hot.
And he was, I think he was top 5 in yards per route run, which is a metric that is used
Hi, Benny.
a lot for wide receivers. But
Did you guys see Jerry Rice's new tattoo?
no.
Speaking of arrogant Jerry Rice.
Is it the GOAT? Yeah.
And it says "Goat" in it.
Yeah.
Is it
I think
terrible?
it's great. I think it's perfect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's
so
cool.
arrogant
Yeah,
and ignorant.
I was expecting something, but you know.
I don't think it's ignorant to the least bit. He is the GOAT.
Yeah, but you don't
Arrogant,
get it.
yes. Ignorant, no.
It doesn't matter how far above and better everyone you are. You don't get a tattoo that says you are.
Right. If
It's just classless.
But if he got just the GOAT without the words, I think that's way better.
I don't know.
No, I think that's
It's
okay.
fucking ignorant, no matter how you slice it. I mean, I would expect it from maybe Dion,
Yeah.
and still it's fucking gross. But like, Tom Brady shows up with that tattoo, everyone's like, ugh. Like, it's tacky. It's very
And
fucking...
at this point,
it's like,
He's always been tacky, though. He's
we
always,
can all agree that he's the best, and even non-49er fans will agree. That's fine. I'm not saying he isn't deserving of the title.
Okay.
But that's like getting your own name tattooed on you. Like, you are. You don't have to tell everyone you are.
Ready for an unpopular opinion?
What?
Jerry Rice is corny and whack.
Oh,
like
he
always.
completely.
You know what I mean?
He just doesn't get it.
No.
Some
Like,
people get it. You just don't.
He
get
never
it.
did. Like, remember? Like, I don't know. You
Take
may
yourself a little bit too seriously.
Well,
Hold
even
on,
Joe
no.
Montana, same thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Like, they're
think-
not Steve Young.
No, I
No.
think
Steve Young gets it.
I
Yeah.
think Joe is shot. So I kind of get like I think he's straight up like a
And
shot.
I
load.
think Joe does kind of get it.
No, Joe Montana is the face of Skechers shape.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You
get
clearly don't fucking get it.
Every interview-
You clearly want. If they went to Steve Young and said, "Hey, Steve, we got an opportunity here for you. We want to pay you $1 zillion, more money than you've ever made playing football, but you're going to be the face of Skechers shape-ups," he would go, "Get the fuck out of here. I'm not fucking wearing Skechers shape-ups."
Right.
Joe Montana was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
I'm in."
like everything
Like,
you
nah,
ever hear about Joe
not a
Montana
chance.
is that he's a bimbo. Everything. Like, so okay, forget that. But like when Jerry Rice came out, like he originally was like kind of classy about like, but then became people like started celebrating a bit arrogant, and he was penalized a couple times. Do you remember this? Like, and because he took it like ignorantly over the top. Like I got,
But like, so I'm not a Deion Sanders fan. I think he's a douchebag.
So do I.
But you can understand his arrogance.
Yeah.
Like, even though you don't have to like it, you can think he's an asshole. You can understand his arrogance, like always wearing some diamonds or always being flashy or calling himself prime time. Like, okay, I get it. But Jerry Rice is just fucking weird, man. Getting a tattoo of a goat that says goat inside of it is just fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
He's just not very self-aware.
Yeah, he's clueless.
You know what my
he's got
favorite
a white wife.
my favorite
Okay.
Deion Sanders story is the story when he was at the combine to get drafted, and the Giants, I guess at the time, had this protocol where they gave every single player that they were interested in their full playbook to study and come back to them telling them what they learned from
That makes
that
a lot
playbook.
of sense.
And Deion Sanders goes, "When are you guys picking? Oh, you pick 8th? I'm not going to be there. Take this shit back."
That's fucking great.
That was like, I hate Deion Sanders, but that's such a great
Yeah,
story.
it's just ignorant. I love it. But that's what I mean. Like, that's arrogant, but you can understand the type of arrogance. You know what I mean? Even OBJ, we don't have to like him, but we understand his arrogance.
Oh, how about
like,
OBJ
it's
saying
just
that
like,
the Giants are only getting the fans are only watching the New York Giants because he was on the team, and they're only getting primetime
but again,
games because he's
fuck
on
him
the
for
team.
saying that. He's but you get it. Like I get what he's doing. Like, he's just an asshole.
playing that
He's an
out.
arrogant. That
He's
makes
ignorant.
so much more sense than getting a tattoo of a goat that says fucking goat on it. I'm sorry. It just does. It just makes more sense.
Will you do that tattoo on me?
Could you fucking, like, what the fuck are you thinking? And look at it, it's horrendous.
It's horrendous. It's great, but it's horrendous. I love it. I'm all for it. You know what?
So
Fuck
weird.
it. I'm gonna.
Like, if you got a tattoo of Jerry Rice that said goat on it, that's okay. I wouldn't get it, but that's okay. But Jerry Rice doesn't get a tattoo of a goat that says goat. Like, Jesus Christ.
What if he got? Let me ask you.
Oh
this.
my God.
What if he just got a portrait, like a dead of a goat, like a Billy Goat?
Way better.
Okay.
Way better.
That would've been
I don't know if it's
phenomenal.
okay, but it's way better than this.
It would've been great if he
This
got,
fucking
like, a goat on
This thing
like a
looks like
Billy
my
Goat,
5.5-year-old fucking traced it in like some sort of
And it-
tracing. The lettering's all fucked up.
I wish it had a crown on the goat.
It's so
all it's
weird.
missing.
It's so weird.
All right, Steve. What do you got now, Poppy?
Just to finish up on Trent Taylor, he is now wearing number 15,
He is.
and he sold 81 to Jordan Matthews. As
Got
I'm
wiped
sure
up.
everybody's aware, he dealt with back injuries last year. He had a pinched nerve, and he admitted that he didn't start feeling like himself until December. And Kittle describes him as the biggest prick on the field. And I did not see. Usually, you could see that in a player's game, and I didn't really see that in him. You know, but I guess he like brings it the extra mile. He tries to make up for his size with feistiness, I guess.
You never know with Kittle, though.
No.
He also made up that whole thing about fucking Mullins going
Yes,
through
he
the
did. Play like listening to headphones in a blank stadium. That's true. I should just cross that off. I completely forgot about that. Take everything Kittle
Kittle's
says with
best.
a grain of salt.
Kittle, yeah, and there's more. There's like a couple things. There was like 2 or 3 fibs he told.
Were you
And
here for our discussion about how in an interview they asked him how he was going to show up on contract day when he's due for his big contract? Because what's his name showed up with the Brinks truck, the fucking armored vehicle. Who did that?
Fucking
Jalen Ramsey.
yes.
Showed up with like an armored truck.
And they're talking about the last guy that you want to do that to is Tom Coughlin, who's running the show there.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Anthony Brown? No.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. Wow. Antonio Brown showed up in a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Like just goofy stuff. So they asked Kittle, and he said he wanted to show up in a pickup truck driven by Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He loves
And
that.
he was-
that is
and
definitely
he was
the best
dead
out
serious.
of all those.
He was dead fucking serious.
I could see it happening.
Yo,
3
so
years
me and
from
Rob
now?
talked about this, but so I guess Jordan Matthews, when he after like the first or second day of practice, got a text from Zach Ertz, Philadelphia tight end, asking how Kittle was looking.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
They-
dope.
the-
That's
the-
dope that he put it out there. Like
The
that.
interviewer said, "Who's better, Ertz or Kittle?" And he was like, "I'm not going there."
Yeah,
But Ertz did hit me up right away asking how Kittle looked.
because Ertz has been working years towards this like hype that he has now, where Kittle just came in and fucking stomped on him like a bug, like broke the tight end record. I'm better than you, and it only took me 1 year to do it.
Well, we'll see. We got a sophomore slump, Steven.
Oh, it's how fast he is for how big he is. It's not fair. It's
Did
just
you
not
see
fair.
what went on with his sister and all the players doing the yoga?
No.
They did like a multi-day, like 4+ day, like retreat with like yoga, but then football as well. And they like dude, it was pretty intense. And all the players were like, she kicked the fucking shit out of us. So there's that.
Jimmy.
You can't have a sophomore slump your third year in the league, by the way.
Actually,
It's good.
yeah, true.
It would be a junior slump, I guess.
Actually, I got a bunch of Jimmy talk. I'll save that till the end. It looks like we are likely facing the Bengals in week 2 without their number 1 offensive weapon, AJ Green.
Yep.
Yeah, Joe
Ain't mad
Mixon.
about that.
Joe Mixon is a really good running back, but AJ Green is pretty much their offense. If we lose that game,
Who, Carson Palmer?
Well, let's talk about losing
who's
that game
it?
as we have the Steelers
Andy
at
Dalton.
home after
And
that.
fuck him. He's Carson Palmer 2.0. Fuck him.
oh, not even. Carson Palmer
Yeah,
at
not
least
even
had
close.
elite seasons. Andy Dalton
Yeah,
hasn't
he's
had
not close
one.
to Palmer.
Oh,
He
okay.
wishes he was Palmer.
Yeah, he does.
And
He's
so,
like,
do the Bengals.
Andy Dalton is the epitome of quarterback purgatory. Exactly where you don't want to be. A guy that's just good enough, but will never
Just
win.
good enough to not draft
big.
the next guy.
Yeah,
and
just-
not good enough to win a
and
Super Bowl.
never good enough to even win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Well, you need a coach that's going to come in there and boot the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Boot his ass to the boot.
So this offseason, Jimmy
Boot.
went and worked out with renowned throwing and
Tim
pitching
Couch?
guru Tom House. Close. It started with a T, and it was something involving a home. Tom House, Tim Couch.
I was close.
But I guess on his wristband he has something scribbled down that says robot mindset, and a lot of reporters asked him about it, and he basically said that it's a reminder to him to not get distracted by fans' music and stuff like that. And then I heard another guy say that when he first got to New England, the first piece of advice that he ever got from Tom Brady was that quarterback isn't just a football position, it's a lifestyle. Playing quarterback in the NFL is a lifestyle. It's repetitive training and doing the same thing over and over and over again in pursuit of perfection.
That's what Steve Young always talks
And you
about.
never make it. You might think you made it. The minute you think that you made it, you're done.
Steve Young always talks about that, how you can have all the measurables. It's the time, it's the studying and the time that you spend off the field.
The
that
stories
makes
he
the
would tell
difference.
about Kyle's father, Mike, before the Super Bowl against the Chargers, they went over the game plan like 3 times, and it was like, Mike, I get it. And he was like, all right, let's do it one more time. And he was just so meticulous.
But Steve was saying, like, it's the little things, like you study the defense so much that as soon as something happens on the field, you know what's coming because you've watched them do it so much and you've studied so much that as soon as the safety makes a step to the left before the snap, you know what they're doing and you're ahead of them, and that it's a
We talked
chess
about
match.
how Jimmy worked with Mike Shanahan, right, when he was hurt.
I think we did, yeah.
Last
Last
episode.
season.
Yeah, no, last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it happened last season.
Right.
During the season, actually.
Correct.
But they will not. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo and Quallen Alexander will not play in the first preseason game. To me, this makes sense. I mean, it's just
They don't
not
usually
worth.
anyways, right? The starter?
No, the starting quarterback
maybe
does.
sometimes one set, sometimes two.
Historically, the starter does play one series in the first
Right.
preseason
Really?
game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a new thing, not playing at all. That's like a Sean McVay thing that he's kind of spreading across the league. But
Because when they asked Shanahan about it, when he said it, he goes, "Yeah, that's usually what it is."
one series, one sometimes two.
Interesting.
If it's like a quick 3 and out or something,
Then he'll throw him back in.
Right.
But if
I
it's a
thought that was
drive
game
that has
two,
any
not three.
substantialness to it, it
I
usually.
mean, I thought that was game 2, not 1.
I've seen it in one typically.
Yeah.
and then
Huh.
I don't think we've ever had a week 1 where we didn't see our starter.
Yeah, and then in week 2 you'll typically see like a quarter, maybe.
If
the
that.
first quarter, yeah,
If
or
that.
but a couple more.
Yeah, they're
sets.
saying more like 12
I think
snaps.
more teams, after seeing the Rams have success with not playing a single starter, more teams are becoming more open to the idea that you don't really need it. And, I mean, a big thing is that the joint practices, you get so much more out of joint practices than you do in an actual preseason game. And the quarterbacks are much less likely to get hurt because it's not a game. The quarterback's still wearing that black jersey or that blue jersey that says "Don't hit me," even though you're facing another team. Like, if you're the other team and you take out the other team's quarterback during a joint practice, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you are just a complete piece of shit.
Or you're gonna get fined.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But
But if you take him out in a game, then it's okay.
he needs live reps though, so it's not like we can hold him out the whole preseason. So Kyle said he's probably going to end up playing week 2 and week 3. And
When I heard him, they said around 12 snaps,
yeah.
week 2.
And Kyle said, he goes, I reserve the right to change my mind on this.
Yeah.
But as of right now, that's the game plan. And to be honest, I expect to see some early season rust from Jimmy. And I have a feeling that when fans don't see 2017 Jimmy immediately, fans are going to immediately start writing him off. But the guy is coming off a torn ACL, and it typically takes a little bit of time to get back to where you were. What he does have on his side, though, is that Jimmy tore his left ACL. Quarterbacks that have torn their left ACL have a better track record of coming back and looking like themselves a lot sooner. With Brady and Carson Palmer did left ACLs, they came back guns a-blazing the next season and didn't skip a beat. Quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson and Carson Wentz tore their right ACL, and as you can see, it's taken them longer to come back to what they were previously.
Makes sense because the plant foot.
So, I mean, if you
all the
see
power
rust
comes from.
from Jimmy early on, just keep it in your pants. Just
Well,
give it some
I mean,
time.
the guy's only fucking played how many games?
He's
Jesus
not
Christ.
done developing.
Treat him like a second-year player because that's how much experience he has.
He was supposed to develop last year, and that's why it was so catastrophic that he got hurt last year. Not because I thought we were going to go far and make a deep run, but because we wanted him to develop for this season.
Yeah, for
Now
sure.
he's using this season to develop when it should have been last season.
Well, now he's got to develop on the fly. That's that.
I know Joe's going to get impatient.
I'm impatient now. Get impatient? No.
But Jimmy could be this, 10-year quarterback. Like, he could be our quarterback for the next 10 years.
He could be the guy when they go Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
He could be that name. He could be.
He could
Yes.
be.
Because it's not any of the guys that have been there since.
Yeah.
And Kaepernick could have been. Kaepernick was right on the verge
Kaepernick
of
is
that.
the third.
He was right on the verge of being that name, though.
Who's number 3? Jeff Garcia or
Oh,
Kaepernick?
I'm full bore on the Kaepernick thing. And whenever somebody
gotta be.
Whenever somebody
why
says to
Kittle?
me, whenever Kaepernick comes up and it's some fucking moron, and they always say he wasn't even good. Oh, really?
Well,
how many quarterbacks played in the Super Bowl?
He pretty much lit the league on fire for 2 years.
It literally is the difference between one play. Because if they win that Super Bowl, he has the biggest comeback of all time in a Super Bowl. And that's it. There's no question asked he was a good quarterback.
Until Brady did it against
Period.
Atlanta.
But at the time...
Yeah, at the time.
Never again is there even a question if he was good or not. Because
Right.
he has a ring, and
What do you mean, was he good? Of course he was good.
No, but I'm saying, people that don't have a clue that
Yeah.
say he wasn't. You'll meet people every day that tell you he wasn't.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, especially because of everything
Yeah.
that's went on, for sure. They'll say he's garbage.
He wasn't
He
even
wasn't.
that good.
I mean, he
You
wasn't.
know why he's not in the league? Because he doesn't deserve to be.
He wasn't a long-term answer that came to fruition, but he was fucking good in the period of time, his
And-
window.
and-
Quite
we-
honestly,
and-
I think they broke him trying to teach him not to do what he did.
Yeah, whatever went on with Harbaugh in that last year, there was chaos there anyhow.
Nobody ever likes to talk about that season. That season fucking blew. 2014 Super Bowl aspirations, the most stacked roster in the league, and you go 8-8 with fucking drama about Harbaugh getting fired the whole year, starting week 1. That sucked.
Yeah, that was not fun. All right, next.
In 2018, the 49ers only scored a touchdown on 41% of their red zone trips. That is worst in the league, dead last. And they were only marginally better in 2017 at 47%. And Shanahan has publicly acknowledged that that simply is not good enough. It's not going to get it done. But
it's been that way since like 2012.
Getting Trent Taylor back, having his third year in the system, the change direction he has, Pettis taking a second-year jump with his shiftiness, and the signing of Jordan Matthews, I think, is going to bear fruit in the red zone, especially.
And Debo as well, I think.
Yes.
I think Debo's going to be a red zone guy. Maybe Hurd is once he gets his head down. But I don't know. Hurd, I don't know.
Well, he needs time. He's not ready. I could picture Jordan Matthews being this guy this year that's going to end up with 6-7 touchdowns, but only like 350, 400 yards. Just a strictly inside the 10 guy that can box out defenders in the red zone. And I don't think I've said this publicly, but I am very, very excited about Dante Pettis this year.
It's good.
Very excited about Dante Pettis.
I'm excited about everything
They
he
say
does.
if you take his numbers from the last 5 games last year and like extrapolate that over a season, that it's insane.
He is such an unbelievably unique athlete with the amount of he runs like Gumby. He is Gumby.
And he's fucking insane. I
He's
love
deceptively fast.
He's so weird.
He can create ridiculous separation against some of the veteran corners in this league. And he's building a rapport with Jimmy, which he didn't really have that much time to do last year.
And he seeks spiritual enlightenment.
Yeah. But I'm very intrigued by Dante Pettis this year. I was expecting Debo to make some more noise in training camp. I haven't heard that much about him.
That's probably a good, to be honest with you, I think it's good.
Yeah, I agree.
Let him keep his head down and learn, because he's got to learn. He's, as talented as he is, he's not going to come in unless he knows what the fuck is going on. And I saw this big personality out of him, maybe somebody who might even be a trouble issue. But the fact that we haven't heard anything kind of makes me happy. Makes me think that he's
a pretty soft-spoken guy. He's not. His nickname's Debo, but he's not
I don't know.
What you would expect a Debo to be.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't know. I find him to be. I don't know. We'll see. Jury's out.
Is the jury's still out on Pettis? If you know what I'm talking about.
Not as far as I'm concerned. My flag is up.
That's all I got.
He's definitely turning down sexual relations because of fingernails. For sure. Not male fingernails, female fingernails.
So we could check our email box if you guys don't have anything else. One thing I did not write down but just thought of, Jimmy Ward is returning, and he is expected to come back immediately and rejoin the first-team defense at free safety over Adrian Colbert, who's been
Barrett Mueller
there.
Just snuck one in at 10:34.
All right, Barrett. Joe, you know your flashlight's on?
No.
So our first one is Matt Matterson on May 31st.
When was... Okay, yeah. Oh, well, hold on. I'm not going to get there yet. I got to tell you, I came 16 inches from a hole-in-one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah?
16.
Mini golf?
Mini golf.
Part 3 or part 4?
Par 3. 160 yards.
Come on, Chris.
There's some short part 4s.
160 yards. Hit a 9-iron a little thin.
Uh-huh.
But I'm pretty sure it hit the flagstick. Because I saw it made what I saw it to be a defined move, But I don't know. It was 16 inches out. I birdied the hole nevertheless. But fuck, I'm getting there. And there was
that one at the Apple course, the short one.
Yeah.
I have a couple close ones there.
That's the closest I've ever came. Tap in birdie. All right, ready here? Matt Matterson, Matty Matt. I think about.
Always ready for Matterson.
I was thinking about him the other day.
I think about him every day.
Not every day, but sometimes. First off, want to say good for you, Steve and Rob. Ooh, I don't know what this is about. I'm intrigued. Steve gets it for being engaged in a cemetery. I never heard of that story before from anyone. You have your reason for it. Rob, I don't have kids, but congrats. I decided to be straight to the point, but we are closer to the season.
That hurts. That hurts my head.
Rob, what do you think there?
I ain't got time for small talk here.
Yeah.
My
Right to the point, Matterson. That's what we
Fucking
expect
kid,
from you.
alright? Jimmy started. So.
My recent emails I sent was embarrassing. My funny story email proves me that I should not do any stand-up. My jokes only work for people around me or get where I am going with the punchline.
Yep.
Madison, I'm going to go ahead and say it wasn't the joke, it was the audience. We're going to take the loss on that one. You keep up with the comedy here. We support you. The Gold-Blooded Podcast. My other email, the draft emails, I talked about the drafts.
Amazing.
My other email was about the subject that the email was about.
Let's just recap. Stand by, let's recap. My other email, the draft emails, I talked about the drafts.
Good thing.
I thought that it was Caden Smith, but it's Caden.
Okay.
Was that what was so embarrassing? He had a typo on a player name?
No, I think it was that he said he had a funny story, and we found it to be dry humor. I believe was kind of the. It was dry humor. We didn't quite. It
A little
did,
too
it,
dry.
It was a little too highbrow for us.
We were just too serious that day, is what it really
Yeah.
was.
You got to catch us on a good day.
Yeah, we weren't. There was no rig that day. It was a whole thing. I have a habit of getting names wrong. I have been doing. Question. It's a question, and that's the end of the email.
I like it. It's open-ended.
You want to see that?
I
Do you want to verify?
I have been doing? Question mark?
I have been doing.
Fuck yes,
You didn't even give us a Matterson out. Really?
No.
I think
Really?
I think that was a premature send button.
He
Someone walked in the room.
I saw his most recent. I believe he addresses it.
Oh, God.
I don't think so.
Wall of text.
Okay, well we'll get there. We're not there yet. So we have an email from it's me to me. The title being Niner Juice.
Wait, I think I looked up his name. Okay, so his email is mbonin21.
Pretty sure it's illegal, man.
Okay, well, let's see where this goes.
Oh, what?
No, I'm just kidding. So I'm pretty sure that's illegal now.
Huh.
Saying someone's private information.
Hey there, boys.
Doxing. Steve just doxed
I
him.
doxed the fuck out of you,
I
me.
don't like saying that word.
Doxed the fuck out of me.
I don't know about you, but I'm fucking juiced up for some Jimmy G.
All right, that's uncomfortable.
Question mark?
That's more uncomfortable than I'm doing.
Or blowjob versions of it.
Did you watch the Quentin Williams video I sent earlier?
I didn't understand it.
When he said I'm gonna play with myself,
Yeah, no, I got that, but
that was the whole point.
And then he said I met that came out weird. I
Yeah.
met in Madden. I'm
I
gonna
got
play
it,
with
I
myself
got
in
it.
Madden.
I got it. I thought it was just lowbrow.
Sorry, we didn't mean to take you down a level with our potty humor. Lowbrow. Jesus Christ.
Out of all the people here to be a humor snob,
Of all the things to say, lowbrow. I don't know. I don't appreciate your dick jokes, Steve. What's next? Fart
I
jokes?
don't know. It
Come
was
on.
Just, I was a little
We're fucking grown men, Steve. We don't have time to
by it. I
be laughing about jerking off.
expected more out of you.
Responses are going to drop us.
It was just great because his reaction, like once he said it, he was like, "Oh,
I just said that.
Gotta ride with it. I'm not gonna fold. All right. This guy's juiced.
Start from the beginning again.
IDK
juiced.
about you, but
ID.
I'm fucking juiced up for some Jimmy G. Love having Tampa as the season opener. A winnable game that'll begin the climb for some goddamn credibility in this league. Anybody who tells me bitch tits Mahomes will be the better of the two in their long-term careers can straight up suck my gooch. I'm also fucking pissed that we're playing those red cocksuckers for the third preseason game when starters usually get the most playing time. Probably cunt Goodell's doing. Goodell, sorry. Heard Al Guida announced the end zones for every game this season will have the old styled emblems like from the back in the day. Fucking love it. Would love to see the black sweaters for all the home games too. They're fucking sex. Speak of sex, I would have paid a Benji for Joe's poncho. Thing is mint. I'd paid $20. That's where you and I are different.
Why don't you sell it to him?
You know what? I will definitely ship him one for $100, and I'm going to need all the money I can get for my oral Mexican surgery, so I'll reach out, my friend. Yeah, I'll get you a poncho for $100. Yeah, you got it, plus shipping. My team thoughts thus far are a healthy Debo will be the next Jerry for our up-and-coming Jimmy. Oh, I see what he's doing there. He's comparing Jimmy G to Joe Montana. Coleman gets me real excited, and a year-long healthy Jarek combined with Coleman gets me moist. I'm not sold on Bosa and his whole fucking injury-prone family. I also don't understand why we're not doing Dick in the defensive backfield. Give me Barry at this point. I'm also the one who emailed in a few months ago about getting a podcast business card from a couple of youths. And if it wasn't that Niners-Bears Monday Nighter, it would have had to have been the preseason game in Baltimore when both Harbaugh brothers were still coaching against each other.
That's 100% what
That
it was.
is 100% the only game those cards were ever handed out, Ken. So that's quite a rare. You were lucky. You were one of 5. Now, we've talked to a couple of people from that.
Oh, we passed out a lot of cards
Yeah.
that night. Some fucking police officer tried saying that we couldn't solicit.
Yeah.
It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, we just kept handing them out. Let's see. Any of you boys see John Wick 3? Keanu fucks the tits off of it. Still a little nauseous from the clip of David Carr explaining why his little cunt brain thinks Montana doesn't belong on the top 10 list of quarterbacks. Not that it means much, though, coming from such a runny dog shit quarterback like himself. Lastly, I'm sure he's heard it before, but Joe sounds like Badger from Breaking Bad, and I fucking love it. I've never heard that before, and I'm offended by that. For fuck's sake, everybody, stay healthy during camp and into the fucking season. Maybe I'll write again one day. Bonesaw
Please do
from
write
Rochester. Steve, did you hear what I just said?
Bonesaw from Rochester.
That's how he signed off.
Where?
On the
it was
bottom.
at the bottom? I didn't fucking see that.
Well, come on,
I
guys.
just ditched.
Bonesaw.
That's a real
Rob,
Rochester.
you know people
Okay.
in
That's
Rochester,
a real
right?
Rochester.
My eyes
nickname.
don't even go down there because it usually says sent from my iPhone.
You gotta watch it.
So, yeah, he switched it up. Bonesaw from Rochester. All right.
Hey, Tom Slack, if you want to know how this microphone sounds, listen to the fucking podcast. Fucking cunt. Fucking Mark. Like, I want to be in a database about microphones. Yeah, great. What's that going to do for me? Nothing.
Next email.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
We have a follow-up.
Madison, right?
Yeah, to the question mark.
That's what I said.
One came in at 10:30.
2 months later, almost. He left a cliffhanger for 2 months.
Been thinking about it.
That is some self-control.
Listen,
How I'm doing.
I
imagine.
have been doing.
Backup quarterback, round 3. Matty Matt. Hey, crew. Sorry for that cliffhanger ending in my previous email. I was actually going to say that I got to do some open mic stuff.
It lasted almost 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, he didn't know that. I was actually going to say that I got to do some open mic stuff in my hometown in May and this month. From my experience, I should have been ready for an encore song. Oh, music. I thought comedy.
Okay.
So he's doing.
Maybe it's a mixture.
Maybe it's funny songs.
Could be that's how that guy we know got his start.
Adam Sandler type deal.
I played a few classic rock songs. Next time, I am going to be ready. Matt, I would love to
Holy
hear how
shit.
things went. And if there's video, we could keep it on a private level, or we could show everybody whatever you'd like. I'd love to get
Moving
it.
forward, can we get him to write us a theme song?
Yes.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt.
He's done that a few times
Yeah,
where
we
he'll
need-
but
take
no,
like a
we-
mashup,
We want.
but we want like a
we want it. Yeah. Matt, let's get a theme song.
maybe new
though.
intro.
Something. Yeah. Now for the big news. Robbie Gould is going to be kicking for the team for 4 years. I like how he said 4-4 and then the number 4. Could have spelled that flat. He couldn't get that trade, but he and the organization negotiated and came to an agreement. I'm actually surprised and happy to hear it.
Is that the definition of a contract?
I would love for Matt to be like
Negotiated and came to an agreement.
I want Matt to write me like the news for like lawyer, like legal, like
Every once in a while, something he says just gets
it's
me.
so perfect.
It's right on the nose, and that's the one from this episode.
What?
They negotiated and came to an agreement.
It's almost like as if he Googled.
He took the snap and threw the football.
It's almost as if he Googled contracts
Yes.
and then copied and
Dead
pasted it.
definition. Holy fuck.
Okay. I'm actually surprised and happy to hear that. So are we, Matt. Now that the team is training right now, we are getting closer to football season. First up is 4 preseason weeks, and it's going to be a slow month. Jimmy G won't play the first preseason game, but the main focus is the backup quarterback spot. I have another reason to talk about the second and third string spot. Willen Spite is the new quarterback on the team, and I am interested. The guy is taller than Mullins and Bethard, and maybe he could be competition for CJ and Nick. We will see. Matterson is out, really.
No cliffhanger.
Well, I like that he... I wonder if this guy's taller than both Mullins and Beathard combined, or just individually. That's my cliffhanger. Could you get back to me with that information? All right, Barrett Mueller. Difference between Lynch guys and bulky guys is the title. Lynch's draft pick, Jalen Hurd, is being a bully in the run-blocking department, trying to show that he wants it. Balky's guy, Josh Garnett, dislocated his little finger and needs a few weeks to recover. I thought O-linemen were supposed to be tough and not jack-offs. Go Niners.
He makes a good point.
Yeah, he makes a very accurate point. And didn't Balky also draft J.J. Jenkins?
A.J. Jenkins.
AJ Jenkins.
Not talked about enough as one of the biggest busts of all time.
What round was that?
First round.
First
Okay.
round wide receiver.
What number? It was late,
Top
right?
10.
30.
No, it was late.
No. Yeah, we were good. But do you know how many career catches he has for us?
0.
0.
I know that.
Fucking 0.
I remember that.
You know how many targets he had for us? Or
11?
1.
Oh.
1 target, 0 catches.
Couldn't
First
even
round
catch
wide
it.
receiver. Didn't even make it to his second offseason with the team. He was so bad. We traded him for another wide receiver that was sucking ass.
30th draft pick.
30th.
You were dead on. Yeah, we traded for somebody else's first round bust.
Yeah.
Second round bust.
Yeah, and then they both just ended up out of the week.
2 busts.
But first round
it
wide
was just to take
receiver.
the heat. All they did was the 2 teams got together. I think it was Kansas City, right?
Yes.
And they said, let's trade these busts so that when we release them, if there's no fucking big story about
Yeah.
it. That's all it was.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It was
But
a wash, yeah.
how can there wasn't an injury that derailed his career. First round wide receiver didn't have a single career catch.
How about the fact that people want to criticize Lynch's drafting because of Solomon Thomas?
Yeah.
At least he played fucking downs of football.
At least
Wow.
he has a tackle.
I mean, Jesus
Multiple
Christ.
years.
He has a tackle.
And also, let us not forget, people want to talk about the ones that don't turn into the stars, but how about drafting George Kittle in the 5th round?
And getting the best tight end out of other teams
In
that
the 5th round.
Evan Ingram, David Njoku, and O.J. Howard all went in the first round that year. We got the best tight end in that class in the
5th round.
5th.
It's insane.
All right, so...
We're here every week from here until this season is over.
Oh, boy. Giddy up.
We're back.
So get your fucking emails in, you cunts. We're fucking back, and we're fired up about it. Suck my asshole.
Aggressive. Slightly lowbrow.
That's going to be the new theme, huh?
No, we're not bringing the heat. We're fucking juiced up.
We're aggressive and slightly lowbrow. That's our new fucking undertone. Gold-blooded podcast. Aggressive and slightly underbrow. Lowbrow. Slightly lowbrow, slightly underbrow.
Low brow. Whatever. Pick it up. Email us, goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. Keep the jokes above the snuff.
Above the brow line.
We're back. It's the season. You can promote the Patreon account now.
I'll do that next week. I'm going to give the people one more week of me fucking it up. We haven't heard from my bookie, probably a positive.
Yeah, should probably get in touch with them.
No, fuck them. I don't want to deal with them.
That's free money.
Yeah, essentially.
All right, get back at us.
Yeah, they're listening.
If they did listen, they definitely are calling
They
us
have
again.
no idea what they got themselves into. Do you think one time they were like, so listen, we give these assholes this money here.
Let's see if
No
they're
way,
really
because
doing their end.
No way, because if they're paying us, they're paying thousands and
it's all
thousands
Yes.
of people.
Yeah, but no, I'm just wondering if they say like, hey, dude, just put some asshole intern. Like, hey, just verify that they actually do the read.
Yeah.
Like, I want just if they spot check us every 10 episodes or whatever.
Right.
I'm curious.
They probably
and if
do.
so, are they like, what the fuck?
No, because have you ever heard Joey Diaz do his fucking
Yeah, but
mybookie.ag?
yeah, but look at the numbers he's reaching. You know, so I mean, at some point, you just got to accept.
Yeah, I don't
it.
think they care what you say, though. It's just that you're saying it.
Yeah. All right, well, fuck it. Fuck my bookie at this point. We'll let you know if things change. We haven't been paid yet. So
Do not, under any circumstances, do not use mybookie.ag until they pay us.
And if you do, get your money in like months beforehand because you will get fucked. Don't think you're gonna get money in the day of and make a bet. Not even 6 hours before.
No, plan ahead. Start now for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Start now at least for Thanksgiving.
It's like planning a wedding.
Yeah, get it in early. Other than that, fuck off. See you soon.